Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I want to continue on about thinking about housing and shelter before shit hits the fan. And I want to talk about RVs, the use of a camper type system. Now, um, using it in the way of outside the U.S., I don't believe would make a good option. You can, like I say, I'm down in Guatemala. You can bring your campers on down here and stuff like that, uh, because everything is the way the housing and stuff is inexpensive, and if you're bringing in an RV, it more responsibility that you're going to have, and they don't have RV parks and stuff like that down here. It's easy enough to do. Now it'd be a little different if you own some property down here. That'd be a little different. But if you've been keeping up with me, I'm not big on owning property, and because whatever country you're in, it's easy for them to take it, and so maybe an RV wouldn't be a good option outside the U.S. So I mainly want to talk about using the RV in the U.S. Now, the first thing, you need to avoid large populated areas. Now, pre shit is the fan, you can get around. But one thing I've noticed as I've been traveling around in the U.S., I noticed the secondary roads are getting less, and they're using more main highways, are going around the smaller communities, and the smaller communities is really where you need to be in a shit at the fan situation. Um, your RV really needs to be paid for. You need to have all the paperwork, and make sure there's no liens and whatever tags and stuff you need for it. You need to have all that stuff up to date. And like I say, the thing is, during a shit at the fan, the roads won't be open. So the major, and like I say, most now are major roads, will get under control by someone. I mentioned even where we're at, we're going to make sure our roads controlled, and it's going to be under our control. We already know that. So even if it's not a government or a military type control, someone will have control of the roads. We need controls just for our own community, to keep our own community safe, and that's going to be the same with all the smaller communities. Now, right now the best thing to do is get out and see where these communities are, and look for communities that you have some kind of connection with. Now, and the thing is, like I say, now we've got a few acres in the place that I'm staying in Oklahoma, and some of it's not mine, I don't own it, but the people that own it, some of their family members and friends they've invited do have campers, and it won't be hard for us to put up the utilities, get them set up. It won't be that hard to get all that stuff going. So we would invite them, and it would be to everybody's advantage to have these also. This will give you a certain degree of privacy, and especially if you are man and wife, or a family, man, wife, and children. That would be a good thing. Like I say, I've got my bus, so I'm pretty much, and it's not set up for on the road, so it's not really an RV in the way of moving, traveling. It's just sitting, and that's what it's going to be doing. It's going to be staying right there in our local community. Now, if you really, just because you have the RV doesn't mean you're going to be welcomed in different places. That's why you need to start doing your homework now, make connections, and see where these communities are that you've got options to be at. And really right now is a good time to see about getting it set up. Either use it for storage, can you store it here, and do you have the hookups for it and stuff like that. Now would be a good time to do it, especially if you've got a good connection. Your networking is good. You're around good people, a good community. This way, you can even start spending the weekends there with them. And like I say, like in our particular place, we've got gardens already going. You can be there on the weekends, help them garden, or in our place again, we got cattle. You can help work the cattle. So in other words, you can make the connections now and start seeing what you can do to show interest and be interested in joining their community and showing them what you have to offer. Because we talked about it before, it's a relationship is what you're trying to build. And I say, I'm going a lot by my experiences. And so I say, even our experiences, we've got outbuildings and stuff like that, where we store food, we store weapons, we store extra stuff. And like I say, now would be a good time to start networking with these people, such as us, and be able to start putting stuff there. Because, like I say, now this is the thing I'm not sure of. If shit hits the fan, if it's going to take a few days for it to go into it, or if it's just going to bammo, it's just going to happen. I had someone ask how bad the racial problems are now compared to what it was in my younger days. And that to say, in the younger days, I was in the 50s or 60s. It was racial problems was pretty bad, and it's right now it's not as bad as what it was back then. So you can expect it to get much worse. Now, like I say, I was born into it, so I don't know how it came about. It was just already there when I came around. Now in Europe, you see what happened there. They've been tranquil, everything's been just easy, and then now all of a sudden they've been getting more and more problems, and so the racial problems are really evolving really quick. And so I'm thinking it's probably going to be the same thing with the United States. I never thought we'd have racial problems. I thought the United States was above all that. But now I can see it's being promoted. And so it's going to be a tough one. And it's not a black and white kind of thing. I mean, it's not going to be that obvious that everybody's going to be nasty and stuff like that. It was just in different areas. Now, even at that time, even small communities were affected by it. So now our particular area, we shouldn't be affected by it, providing the ones that are in, so, and that's what I'm talking about. If you're in now, that means you've got a place to put, you will be able to put your RV, or you can put your RV there now. And then once that happens, and it won't matter your race or anything like that, because you'll already have a relationship with the community. But it's going to have to be a smaller community. Like I say, it won't be something done in the city. So expect that if you're thinking about using an RV as an escape capsule. And now if you plan on going to the woods and doing it on your own, that's another story. I know there's some backwooded places in the United States, so that is going to be a whole other thing. I'm not into that, and the reason I'm not, because I want to be part of a society. I don't want to be a hermit and go off and hide somewhere and try to do a life like that. There are people like that. I'm just not like that. I believe there's strength in numbers, providing the numbers have a good relationship. That's what I work on. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.